Hi, Abraham. So I'm pretty happy with my life. I'm content with my job, with my friends, with my family. But there are certain things that I feel insecure about. One of the things is being in shape and being fit. And I have a hard time kind of coming up with a good regimen of eating right and staying healthy and working out. And I kind of go in cycles. One of the things that hinders me most is my diet. And so I really love cookies, and it makes me feel good when I eat them, and desserts and sweets. And I feel good in that moment in time. But after that, I feel guilty. And I wonder, I'm confused.
Are you feeling guilty or? Are you feeling any physical response to the cookies? Does your body like the cookies as much as you do?
In that moment in time, yes. And then towards the end of the day, I keep thinking about that cookie that I ate. And I feel like, I have to go to the gym. I have to spend an extra 30 minutes, on the elliptical to go against what I did earlier in the day. I know it's a simple thought, but that cookie did make me feel good, and I wanted that cookie.
Well, we are really appreciating this conversation. We like the way you set it up. We'll go back and talk about some of that. And we especially like the conversation about the cookie.
All right.
The conversation is a little different than most think that it should be. And what we mean by that is we're going to set the subject of the cookie aside just for a moment, because it is not as important as something else. And the something else is the thing that we talk about all day, every day, which is the vibrational climate from which the inspiration to eat the cookie came. We've been talking about creating, and we've been talking about manifesting, and we've been talking about inspiration, and we've been talking about momentum, and we've been talking about trajectory. But we want you to feel with us just for a moment, have a conversation about all of the well-being that's in the vortex and the way it moves from the vortex into reality. We want you to contemplate just for a moment that ideas that come to you and impulses that come to you are coming to you. You're translating, but they're coming to you. When you say, I thought of this, we think it would be helpful, instead of saying, I thought of this, I received this thought. Can you feel the difference between I thought it and I received the thought? Because we want you to feel the grid filling in quality that we're talking about. We want you to feel it's moving, it's coming into your experience from somewhere. It was an active vibration that you achieved vibrational harmony with. Your climate might have been one of absolute physical well-being, and the inspiration came to you. So let's say that the cells of your body are really balanced and in control in your body, and they always are. No matter what you think is going on with your body, your cells are doing a much better job than you mostly know that they are. And let's say the cells of your body are requesting something because of brain activities that you've got going on, things that you're concentrating on, physical activities that you've got going on. So your body chemistry is really understood by your cells and by your source. So when you get the impulse to eat something, if you could accept that that impulse is coming from your cellular asking, and instead of beating up on yourself about doing something that you've already decided is inappropriate, and you would follow the impulse, what you will begin to discover is, provided you are usually in a pretty good feeling place. In other words, you could be in a very low vibration, feeling despair or anxiety, and feel inspiration to eat also. So the question that we really want you to try to be aware of is, which disc was I on? Was I on a low-flying disc of despair? Am I depressed? Am I anxious? Am I frustrated? Am I soaring? Am I eager? Am I feeling enthusiasm and love? Where was I when the inspiration came to me. Because until you are able, now isn't this something we've been talking about already here today? Until you are consciously aware of where you are vibrationally, then you can't really know for sure where that inspiration came from. Esther's been asking herself a lot lately. What was my mood when that inspiration came? When that impulse came? Where was my mood? Because once you have control of your mood, then the impulses that come will always be beneficial to you. But when you practice a conversation and therefore a vibration that says, I feel guilty because I know I'm eating things that I should not be eating. There isn't anything more detrimental than to be doing something that you really believe you shouldn't be doing, because talk about cross current in your vibration, you see. So when you study the beasts of your planet, there's quite a bit of conversation about their instinct. They just seem to know what to do. Sometimes you'll see a dog eating grass, even though that's not part of its normal diet. But it got the impulse because the cells of his body wanted something that his normal diet could not provide. And so the impulse and his connection to source caused him to follow through with that. You accept that? Then can you not accept the same for yourself? Except that the difference between the usual dog and the usual human is that the usual dog is in alignment and is receiving the impulse from source, while the usual human isn't. The usual human is responding to conditions. I read this book. We're surprised any of you can find anything to eat, because there's a book about everything that you eat that says you shouldn't eat it. So if you're reading the books, or if you're listening to each other, or how dare you even eat with each other, with the judgment around the table as people are looking at what you're eating. How do you ever have a dinner party? How do you know what to prepare with all the freakish eating that's going on in your environment? I don't eat this, and 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 your cells are saying, please eat some of it. Eat something. Please eat something besides that narrow little window that you've defined that is appropriate. You have the ability and the desire to eat much more broadly than you are eating, you see. And if you are eating from alignment, then everything that you eat will be assimilated and will be utilized in the way that is beneficial to you. And it does not matter how perfect you think the diet is that you're eating. If you're in a bad mood when you're eating it, it's not benefiting your body. You see.
I usually eat it after a long morning.
And then there are people who say, well, Abraham, if you tell people to just get happy and eat what they want, everybody will get really fat and happy. And we say, that is untrue. When you find alignment, when you really stay in your vibration of well-being, when you're in your vibration of well-being, and from that vibration of well-being, the impulses are coming. Your body has impulses, and this is something really worth talking about. Your body has impulses for stability and well-being that are different than the impulses that you are garnering from your society who is dictating something different. Your natural body does not necessarily want to be like those images that you have established. And we're not saying get fat. We're not saying that. We're saying get happy. And everything that you want that is in your vortex is assimilated and taken into consideration as the impulses that come to you come. You'll find yourself being more moderate in all things. You'll find yourself being more balanced in things. You'll find yourself reaching out to more things. You are a veritable chemical factory. And your chemical factory utilizes ingredients that you give it through eating and digesting, that it wants and utilizes for combustion and for metabolism and for energy and for brain power and for go power. Your bodies are magnificent, creative manifestations that are current and ongoing. So what did we just say? Your alignment with source is most important. So do anything and everything you can do to keep yourself in a good mood, regardless of whatever it is that you do. So if you eat it, line up with it. Don't beat up on yourself after having eaten it. That's the worst thing you can do. So if you feel the impulse to eat a cookie and the impulse was strong and you ate the cookie, then talk about how good the cookie was. Talk about how good the cookie was. Use your physical senses. There is such beauty to be seen with your eyes. And there is such beauty to be heard with your ears. There is such beauty to be smelled with your nose and experienced with your sensual body. And there is beauty to be experienced with your taste. That's a beautiful thing. Experience the beauty of the food and feel the resonance of your source. You see, there is so much beauty for you to experience. And when you experience it, do not condemn it. Find it beautiful. If you felt inspired to eat it, find it beautiful and receive the benefit of the beauty of what you have eaten. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And undoubtedly, you will feel your impulses shifting. The more you get into alignment with who you are, your impulses about all things will begin to shifting. Most of you are far too stationary, and your impulses to get up and move your body come, but you squelch them with bogus beliefs or decisions like, well, I don't have time for that, or it's too hot out, or it's too cold out, or whatever. Follow your impulses. That's really what we're wanting you to discover. We're wanting you to do your best to get into alignment early in the day and then follow your impulses. Because if you follow your impulses, you will be following your bliss. And if you follow your bliss, you're on your trajectory of well-being that you've intended before you came into this physical body. And most of you are just barely scratching the surface of the beauty of this life that you intended when you made the decision to come. We have enjoyed this interaction more than you know, more than words can explain. Vibrationally, you sort of get it. Can you feel that you've pushed a reset button? Can you feel that you're in a different vibrational place? So I promise to you that everything's going to be different for you now. Everything's going to be better. In some cases a little better, in some cases a lot better. You got some momentum going. It'll probably peter out. That's all right, because you know what to do to get it going again. You've got beliefs that will be current even though you don't want them to. They'll keep coming up. But knowing what you now know, you can help dissipate those you don't want and encourage those that you do want. So it just becomes more and more and more fun all along. The thing that we are most excited about for you is the newfound clarity that you will experience within a week or two. Some of you are already there. But if you will just go to bed tonight and say these things to yourself, while I slumber, my momentum will stop. My beliefs will be suspended. And tomorrow I can pick up the beliefs that I want to encourage and just not pick up the ones I don't want to encourage. That's really a lovely way to approach life. And then wake up in the morning and just try to find something easy to feel good about and let the law of attraction bring natural momentum to it. And then just do it the next day and the next day and the next day. In other words, let that be your first 5 or 10 or 15 minute desire. And then just let the day do to you as it will. Just let the day have its way with you. Because now as the day and law of attraction has its way with you, you'll be aware that it's having its way with you because of how you started the day. And then the next day, do the same thing and watch how the day has its way with you. And then the next day, do it again and watch how the day has its way with you. And you won't be very far into this process. It's about a 30-day process of awakening. You won't be very far into this process before you'll be so happy about the way the day is having its way with you. And you'll say things like, ooh, I got that started just the way I wanted it. You'll start feeling the credit. You'll start feeling the relationship between what you did, the correspondence, the corresponding relationship, the correlation between what you did on purpose in your unconditional but very soft alignment with Source and what's happened to your point of attraction. You create your own reality because you create your own mood, because you think your own thoughts. And first thing in the morning, it's so easy to do. And 30 days from now, it will be so easy that for just a moment, you'll wonder why you haven't always been doing it. And then you will remember, because contrast has value. I've created the most magnificent vortex that is full of so much that I am enjoying vibrationally now, and that I will enjoy in fuller fashion as I find the vibrational equivalent of what it is. I put it there, and it has been parlayed by Source to the highest frequency, and I cannot receive it until I am sustaining a high frequency, which means I got to practice it before I sustain it. Yes? There is great love here for you.